Hello and welcome all to the fifth episode of Sportscast, where we delve into the minds of football individuals, or not just football, but sports individuals and sports personalities from our country. Today, with me, I have a very, very important personality, somebody who has actually given his soul to the football of India. Mr. Gouramangi Singh, who's also become a coach today after getting his coaching badges and is the assistant coach for FC Bengaluru United. For some of you who would have seen Gouramangi Singh, you'll know that he's also captained India, made over 70 appearances, and also played for the country, played for several I League clubs and also several ISL clubs as well. So, Coach, thank you very much for joining us on this fifth episode. Thank you so much for coming in. Means a lot.
Uh,
Um,
it's
yeah,
yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah. It's my pleasure, Abhishek.
yeah, yeah. So great, awesome. So today, now that we have you, I want to start off. I think this is a question that a lot of youngsters will actually have for you. How did you get into football, or rather, how does one get into football? And what called? I mean, there's something spiritual about it that actually calls you towards the sport, right? Why? How did you choose? How did you pick football as a sport to play?
Abhishek, in my case, I'm from Manipur, and
Right.
uh, I think football is very much part of the culture there.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
maybe I was fortunate enough that growing up years, uh, I think every kid somewhere or the other they always get involved with football, and I think
Right.
that's how I think my growing up years was like. And the yeah, but I think sometime when I was in my 10th standard or ninth standard, I got a little serious about, and I think I got the interest grows, and I was started to think about can I take football or consider football going forward as a career. So that's how I started to take it seriously, and I think I was very fortunate enough after
Right.
my 10th standard, I got the opportunity and I got selected for Tata Football Academy.
Right.
So then since then I never looked back. Yeah.
Right. So if did you always start out playing as a center back? Because I hear a lot of stories where people start playing somewhere and then they end up playing somewhere else on the pitch. So did you start playing out in defense? Was defense something that naturally came to you?
No, not really, because I think it all started. I started as a defensive midfield,
Okay.
because when you are growing up, you don't know what positions will suit you going forward. But maybe whoever the local coaches in my hometown, they always put me when we go out or participate in a tournament, put me to play in the defensive midfield. So
Okay.
even I got selected in the Tata Football Academy as a defensive midfield, and I think because there, I think I went on to play even for youth national football in the defensive midfield. So then
Okay.
at the change of my position only happened when I met I mean Sir Bob Houghton when I this was uh, this was in the Asian Games 2006 December. That's when
Okay.
I changed my position to center back. He changed my, I think I would say he changed my career as well.
Right, right. So Coach Bob Houghton actually changed your position and you started playing center half.
Yeah,
And actually, in 2006, something very interesting happened where you actually got your call up to the national team, right?
yeah.
And so, take us through the experience. I mean, it must have been something different, playing at the senior level for the Indian national team. Just take us through the experience of that.
Abhijit, of course, like Bob Sir gave me the my debut in
Okay,
2007 in Nehru Cup. I mean,
right,
I got a like my first like senior team debut there, but
right,
but I had the like I went up through the national setup in the youth career. I played under 17, 19, 20 even like for the Asian Games. But I had some kind of experience, and I think I was again like fortunate enough to be part of those. I think some of the dressing room. This was I'm talking about 2004. I got the opportunity to travel to 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 Indonesia and to Japan for the World Cup qualifier as one of the
Okay.
only young like promising coming up boy from academy. So this was I'm talking
Right.
about then. This was when Stephen Constant was the head coach of the national team. So I think
Right.
he invited me and he took me along. I mean, I was part of the squad, and I think
Right.
my I would say introduction to the senior dressing room was it all started like way back. But
Right.
yes, from that that phase between 2004, 5, 6, like trying to establish yourself, just pass out from an academy, and trying to establish yourself in the center dressing wasn't easy. But I think like you said again, you have to be that disciplined, and that character, the attitude has to be always there, that you don't want to give up. Like so I mean, there was struggle, there was kind of a little difficult period that I think we all as a football player go through. So then I did 2007. Then again,
Right.
that's the best thing, I mean, for any football player, because eventually they dream at some point that they get selected, or they get to be part of the national team.
Right.
So I think that's the best part. I mean, that's a dream for any football player.
Right. So, I mean, I find it very interesting that you say it's a dream for every footballer to actually go and play at the highest level for their country and things like that. I
Yeah.
also remember. I mean, now I watch it on YouTube. Where you actually scored your first goal for India came against New Zealand in the World Cup qualifier, right? What does it feel like to at that moment score a goal for the country?
I think there's some. Someone told me the other day was. I think there's some mistake there, because the first goal that I think, because see, you play as a center half, and the scoring is never your priority. I mean, if your priority
Right.
is first to defend, help the team not concede goals, or
Right.
I mean, the best feeling that you get as a center half or as a defender is when you get out from the after 90 minutes, when you get out, the clean sheet is what you always think about. So I think my
Correct.
first goal, that like, because like I said again, you never plan, because you're never part of it to score goals. But of course, I think
Right.
the coach put the trust on you whenever there's a set pieces or free kick or corners, and you go up and see that if you find the net. So find the net.
Right.
So my first goal came against it was against Maldives
Oh,
in
against Maldives. Okay, not against New Zealand.
yeah, against Maldives in South Cup in Maldives, in Mali. So but
Okay.
again, then few goals that I go to score. I mean, those are really, I mean, yes, other than defending, but it gives you kind of a confidence, and that the good feelings about scoring is another. It's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually gives you that thing over a center forward, when he's coming for his set piece, and he knows that you've already scored a goal. Does that
Yeah.
play on the psychology also? I mean, when you're defending a set piece and the striker knows that you scored a goal, is he a little scared of you when he comes for his set piece?
That I have no idea. I think you have to go back to some of the strikers that who play against each other or against me. I think probably they will answer you better for that for that question. But yeah, from my perspective, I think, like I said again, it gives you confidence. I mean, it boosts your confidence. Because like I said again, primary job is different, and you're always looking to help the team having a clean sheet, getting a clean sheet. So that is all you look for. But in the meantime, if you can help scoring a goal or assist to your midfield, assist to your striker, that's eventually the team win, right? So
Right, right. So I actually want to share a little of my personal experience as well. So in 2014, the
mm,
first match of the ISL was between FC Goa and Chennai at the Fatorda,
yeah,
right, in 2014. And I think you started the match as well.
yeah,
You started for Chennai and FC. So before I get into what happened in the first game, uh, I actually saw a lot of advertisements where they said Gouramangi Singh the tank,
yeah.
right? Was that the first time that you were ever called the tank? I think I personally think it's a very, very apt name, at least from what I saw. how seriously did you take that? I mean, was it something awesome, to be called the tank and all that?
Not really, not really. Honestly, because I didn't know where that the name came from. Honestly speaking,
I see.
all I remember was I was there in Mumbai for that shoot, and I was informed by the person in charge there that this is how we are going to, because this is how we decided, and you suits the best. Okay, I mean, I cannot just tell you, what you guys think is the best for me. And I think, yeah, it was a nice, nice name to be called, or a kind of associate with you. But it doesn't play anything in your game or in your preparation. I mean, that was just part of your promotion, or part of your is what you have to do as a football player.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't play anything to your mind or in your in the preparation.
I see. Okay. So from the tank and from the
Yeah.
shooting, you flew to the Fatorda, where I was actually sitting in the stands that day, and it was actually a very very surreal experience. Watching all the celebrations and things like that. Now I think you shared a dressing room with Marco Materazzi. You shared a dressing room with. I think with even I think even with Mendy the French left back, Boyan Djordjic, who used to play for Manchester United, and also I think one of the centre forwards, if I remember correctly, for FC Goa was Robert Perez, right? Just describe the feeling, playing alongside, playing up against such world class players. I mean, just yeah. I mean, if you could just relive that experience for like 2 minutes, what was the feeling?
Yeah. If I look back now, it was uh, such a wonderful feeling. But I think more than anything else, it was a big family feeling that I even today, I get that feeling today, even today, because I was
Right,
very much emotionally attached even today with
right.
Chennai,
Okay,
because first season of the ISL, and Chennai is the is like my first club, right?
right,
And
right.
you are excited to be part of the whole new the ISL. There was a lot of we waited for it, like when it's going to start, and when the final day, to start.
Right.
And also, like I said again, we had a before I get into the onto the pitch, we had such a amazing, like I said, like a big family, not just my teammates but the staff,
Right.
and the coach Marco again. I mean, it's just amazing personality, I would say, like a big
Right.
brother, as he was a manager, but like was like a big brother. And also
Right. Right.
we have Pita ma'am, we have Abhishek, why
Right.
they were so involved. As far as I remember, they were there for all the game. They were there in some of the training sessions, and they were so supportive in everything.
Right.
And like I said again, it was such a huge family. So every time we go, whether it was for the away matches, or we were preparing for our home matches, it was
Right.
all, I think we all look forward to the evening, because it was such a celebration. And the most important was the Chennai, the home crowd, because before the ISL, nobody thought that we will have like I think on an average we used to have, as far as I remember, the talk that we had, we used to have like 18,000, 20,000 on an average,
Right.
like
Right.
the attendance in the home matches.
Right.
And we were the first club to qualify for the semi-final. We
Correct.
topped the league, and before we qualified for the knockout, and we had such an amazing run. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there in the final, even though those two playoff matches we had with Kerala Blaster, we lost
Right.
3-0. Then we came to, and there was like 3-3, then 3. It's 3-1. We won 3-1, but because of the goal difference that we aggregated,
Right.
so.
Right.
And I think that's such a crazy things. But that was a whole story about Chennai. But coming back to your
Right.
question, that how do I felt like when the first match in Goa? Uh,
Right.
we trained, we prepared, and we went Goa, and we won 2-1. If I'm not wrong, was it 2-1?
Yes. Yes. 2-1. Yes. 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 Chennai 1-2-1.
Yeah, we
Yes.
won. 2-1, and like I said again, Marco was there, and we had Ilana, we
I
had
remember
Mandy, we had
Elano scored the goal that day also, the one that won the match for
yeah,
Chennai. Yeah,
yeah, we had Mandy, we had Mendoza, we had so many Indian other my colleagues. We had Kiran J, we had JJ, we had Pradeep. I mean, so many
yeah,
such a
yeah.
like an amazing teammate. The team that we had, and it was so
Right,
important. I think we are. I mean, it was. It is always difficult to predict that what's going to happen
right,
after the match or towards the end of the league. But we were like very much determined that we wanted to make or do something. And Marco was really like such a huge personality. He was like no matter what, we
right,
just need to start strong and positive. And starting off the season with 2-1 win was, I
right,
think, we couldn't ask for more. And I remember, yeah, that was just such a that only built the I think the rapport, the relationship, the trust among the teammates as well. And
right.
so that 2-1 win, I think, more or less kind of help us how the
Right.
season went towards the end.
Right. So if I remember correctly, there was like one particular set piece where you were man marking Robert Perez. You
Hmm.
you were holding on to him, and I remember that Perez didn't score. I think he didn't score that match, right? So I think, and a lot of my colleagues actually at the time came and told me, yeah, see, the tank prevented Robert Perez from scoring that day. So I think yeah, that's when I think yeah, it was something truly amazing. But I want to ask you, what are the one or two things that you remember from, I mean, as a person, or rather personally, what are the one or two things you remember from sharing a dressing room with Elano, Marco Materazzi, or rather, what are the things that Marco Materazzi, like, what did he teach you about defending? Because you both played the same place.
uh, I don't know if you notice, because I played in the I League before the ISL I'm talking about. I
Correct.
play in the
Yes.
I
Yes.
League. I play
Yeah.
for my national team. I play center half all these years for I
Right.
think more or less 10 years. Or I've been playing my only position is like center half, and that's how I always get selected. And if you remember when I joined Chennai,
Right.
I should be, even today. I mean, I feel like I'm very much thankful to Marco, because for believing in me or in my ability in that very short
Right.
time that we got to spend in the preseason.
Right.
I never questioned him. Even you talk about the first match in Goa. Yes, we were preparing for the. I wasn't sure that where I'm going to be starting, because we all we were not sure, because it's the first game and who's going to be starting or not starting. Yes, we had training drills, match day -1 and 2. Most likely he
Right.
might start, not start, who will be playing, because we had such a good, like a strong squad that we had. And there were so many, like, what do you call it, deserving candidates, like, to start the game.
Right.
And I remember before the game, Marco told me that, hey, Mangi,
Right.
you're gonna start as a right fullback. I was like, okay, yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but I played as a right back in Goa, as a right back. So I never played in that position. So Marco said, Mangi, and I want you to start the game as a right back. I said, okay, cool. So I never questioned him, and
Right.
so that's how, I mean, it gives you a good kind of a good feeling, I would say. And also,
Right.
when you see that your coach is ready to, I mean, put the trust on you,
Right.
wherever. So my only thing is, like, I was hoping was, I just wanted to be on the pitch, whether it is. I'm not gonna be complaining about, I play all my career as a center half. It doesn't mean that I have to be always started there. So I wasn't really
Right.
looking. I was not first. I was not complaining at all. And if you
Right.
remember, my
Right.
third game, if I'm not wrong, it was against Mumbai, home game. This was
Right.
my third game in ISL, if I'm not wrong, in Mumbai. In Chennai, we play Mumbai, and I play as a left full back. I started as a left full back.
Okay.
So even
Okay.
so, I was like, in a way, I was like, okay. Marco said, hey, today you're gonna start as a left full back. I said, okay, cool. Uh, it was completely out of my, I would say, comfort zone. But I think in a way he's you know what, I don't know what he saw in me, but he was like, okay,
Right.
just do what you have been doing, and just play there. So I was like, okay, cool. So those are, like I said again, few moments. I think those are very important moments for me.
Right.
The manager coming in and telling me that this is why you're going to start the game. I said, okay, fine, cool. So I don't know what. That's why I'm saying going forward. Even today, I'm getting into coaching, and I don't know what he saw in me, and that's how those decisions, in a way, keep coming in my head as well. Like, what makes for him to do that or make that decision. So
Right.
those incidences, and also another incidents. I mean, lovely guys, Ilano, Mendoza. I mean, great. I mean, they are like star performance for our team, and we all did well for ourselves and for the team. But yeah, another guy, Mikel Sylvester, if you remember, he was playing as
Oh,
a
of course. Yes. Yes.
yeah, he was playing as a left center half in all the matches. And I remember he telling me one of after, I think, second or third game, I played in the position as well for a very long time. But he came to me, Mangi. It's just small things, but small talks that we had is like, that when I got the ball, most likely I show you before I receive the ball. The likely I'm going to put maybe say about 30 meters, ball. Most likely, because
Right.
that was one option, and my other option to put forward is almost closing down. So now I you knew more or less, you anticipate that most likely Mikel is going to put the ball to me on my right side. So he was
Right.
like, so can you, I know that you're doing okay for yourself, but do you think that you can like, instead of taking, say, before, I know you are thinking about if the ball comes to you, what you're going to do before the ball comes to you, but I think you can
Right.
do, say, maybe 1 or 2 seconds quicker than you can decide, the decision making. So if this, I'm taking the
Right.
decision in 3 seconds, he's asking, can you do it in 1 second, like, so those are little conversations that I had that makes me think, that makes me also, like, there's always room to improve. And someone like him talking to
Right.
me, like, because that, then you already anticipate that Mikael most probably gonna put the ball to me, because the other option, 1 or 2 options that he had, is already closed down. So
Right.
now can you start thinking about is what you're going to do? What other options do you have once the ball comes to you? So your first is important, and the where do you pass the ball, to the front, back, whatever it is. So can you
Right.
start thinking about it? Can you make the decision making? They can make your decision a little faster than I think what you're
Right.
doing now. I think that would help you. So those little tips, I would say, the conversation, I would say, they help me in a way going
Right.
forward. So I don't know,
Right.
does this make any sense? But these are, we're too
This is
technical
great.
now. But yeah, so
No, no, I think it's wonderful. I think because there's so many people who listen to this show who are
yeah,
actually, very, very interested in the sport, and listening to someone like you about talking about decision making, I think that
yeah,
definitely is going to add a lot of value. But
yeah,
the reason why I went to your conversations is because today you are the assistant coach of Bengaluru United, right?
yeah.
And Bengaluru United plays in the second division of the I League.
Hmm.
So obviously, your coaching would have been influenced a little bit by the way Marco Materazzi does it, or
Hmm.
a little bit about, obviously, Richard Hood. I believe is the head coach, right?
Yeah.
But for instance, this decision making thing. Would you pull aside a left half or a center half and tell him, hey, look, man, can you make a decision like that, split second? Is that something you can do? So, what is your philosophy on coaching based on all these experiences?
Hmm. I don't want to stress too much on the philosophy, because what I do so far in the last 2 3 years, I mean, of course, I've spent so many years as a football player, but
Right,
as a coach, I'm studying, I'm trying to understand, and watching a lot of games, listening to a lot of maybe podcasts, or reading books, understand it. But
right,
one, it will be too early for me to comment on the philosophy. But one thing I have very much clear and understood is, uh, it's a player who's going to make the difference on the pitch.
right,
Yeah,
right,
you might have a whatever the philosophy you talk about, whether you're going to build out, you're going to attack, you're going to be playing very aggressive, whatever that you decide, or the kind of style of play or the philosophy you want to address, or you want to impose in your team. You have to have the
right,
players to do that.
right,
So the question is, do you have any project where you will have, say, about 5 6 years to develop or impose your philosophy into a team. So the question remains very much, I think, to me, is what relevant, or the most important question is like, your philosophy, I think, is gonna, your player is gonna decide like what sort of football you're going to play.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I'm open to, you have, I mean, you need to know to play a counter attack. You need to know to play a deep defending. You need to play, you need to know, you need to know to, the importance. I mean, talking about the good and the positive and negatives about, say, high pressing. Today we talk. Today's people are talking so much about high pressing and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, counter pressing, high pressing. But I think to have all those information and knowledge, it's very important for the unit time also, for that players to understand as a group, not as an individual, but as a group.
Right. Right.
But like you're saying tomorrow, you talk about, I believe in this football. I want to play out. My philosophy is all about attacking. But okay, fine. Do you have the players to do that? The question is like, your
Right.
players is going to decide what sort of football you are going to play, or your team is going to play. So I do
Right.
believe that very much, that the recruitment and the squad that is there for you. So I think that is, so I don't want to stress too much because I'm too early in my coaching career. But one thing I've understood is the players is going to make the difference on the pitch. So I
Right.
have to assess first the qualities, the strength and the weaknesses of my squad and the players, and accordingly I think they put the best options, I would say. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's a very interesting approach to coaching. Something that not many of us really think about. But one thing that I want to ask you specifically is I mean, you had a career where you've played for a long time, and now you find yourself in coaching, and obviously you played in the I League, in the ISL. So I mean, from your personal view, where do you see Indian football going from here?
We have come a long way, even though it was a very, yeah, I would say very slow pace, but we have come a long way. I have been, I think, fortunate, I would say, to be part of this journey in the last, say, about 20 years, I would say. Uh,
Right.
Over the years, yeah, there's a lot of positive as well. In terms of,
Right.
if I have to talk purely from the player's perspective as a football player,
Right.
this is I'm talking when I start playing. We always wanted to do well for ourselves, but
Right.
you also need to understand that you need other people around you to help you to bring the best out of you, not just a football manager or the coach telling you what to do or not what to do on the pitch, but you need you need you need you need good physio, you need good doctor, you need good measure, you need sports science, you need nutrition, you need recovery,
Right.
not just you need analysts help you, show you areas where you're not doing well and not so well. The sports science, sport medicines, at least at the level in the ISL and some of the I League
Right.
clubs, even in Bangalore. And today we are trying to bring all those. So what I'm saying is, we have come a long way, I would say. This
Right. Right.
is supposed to be, I want, all those, and one of the sports science is just a normal thing today, but this wasn't
Right.
there then. So the amount of hours you're sleeping, are you sleeping a good sound sleep or not, are you the fatigue level, the kind of number of kilometers you're clocking in the training, and say number of hours that you're clocking, or kilometers you're clocking in a match,
Right. Right.
all those. I mean, I don't want to get into too much of details, but I think that's from the player's perspective. Okay,
Right.
so those are the support staff, not just a coach or the manager telling you what to do or not to do, but there
Right.
are a lot more other things helping you to perform to the best of your ability. So this is one department has come a long way, and also, yep, I think in terms of other than that, yeah, I think like the training ground. I think just an example. I don't know. People might agree or not agree, but today, during this unprecedented situation we are in, and
Right.
pulling off the ISL in Goa, like 11 teams stationed there for, I don't know, about 3-4 months there.
Right.
Each
Right.
team, each team having a training ground. There's a three stadium was used for the matches.
Correct. Yeah.
Goa, 11 teams. We pull off the. I think those are. I mean, I don't know whether we could have done that, like maybe 15 years back or not. You got it right.
Okay. Right. Right.
Yeah. So now it's not just about the football team or the manager or the technical staff. Now we're talking about the other departments as well. I mean, the media, also so many other professionals who
Right.
are not in the front, but a lot of, it's a team again. So a lot of people are doing, things in their own areas to make sure that things pull up. So I'm not sure that whether we are this equipped, I will, then I'm talking about something. So these are, I would say, I think it's all positive, I would say. And the second thing is also like,
Absolutely.
ISL definitely has brought a lot of exposure and experience for us to learn and go for, grow further. I mean, not just for Indian football, not just about the players, I'm talking about overall. So we're trying to be the best possible we can be. We're trying to be one of the top, say, 10 league in Asia, for example, and we need to
Right.
be.
Right.
So I think there's a what do you call it? We know that where we want to head now. So
Okay. So there's a goal in place.
there's a
Right.
goal is clear, and so it's there's still a lot to do. I'm not saying that we are perfectly on track, no, but yes, we are, I think, very much on track. We need to just keep on, just pulling each other on board, and so at
Right.
least we're heading to a direction. There's a goal, and we want to reach there. I mean, the sooner the better for us, but that is something that we need to work, as part of the
Right.
process. On the road, part of the process, we need to work on that. Yeah.
Right. So great, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you heard it from the ex-Indian football captain. But coach, before I let you go,
Yeah.
we're going to do a quick rapid fire round. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so three of your favorite people, three of the teammates who you like talking about football to today. If you could just name three people.
Oh, it's just too difficult. Just the three names. I mean, I have a lot
Okay,
of
who is one person that you like to talk to about football today?
football. Yeah, it's. I'm just almost say it's very difficult, honestly. Because every time we talk football, I mean that's what at times my wife doesn't like it, because you guys meet up and you always started with football again. Like, can you just leave us talk something else? But uh, like Subhasis,
Subhash is okay. So
yeah, yeah,
he's a left back who plays for India.
yeah. I mean, for the Northeast United, he has done so well this season, and also he was part of the national
Yeah.
team last campaign, and
Yeah.
whenever we catch up on the phone, whatever, like, we like talking about football. We talk very much because he's my batchmate as well, from the Tata
I
Football
see.
Academy. Yeah,
Okay. Mhm.
we literally grown up together. He's one there, and also maybe not just goalkeeper, but then Arindam, who is all for the ATK, because he was
I
my
don't know.
junior.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are pretty close, and spent so many years in Churchill and other clubs as well, with the national team also. So he's like a little
Right.
brother, as you might next
Right.
batch from the
Right.
academy. But yeah, because we keep pumping. I don't meet a lot of people, but yeah, these are people. And also, yeah, Richard Hood, my head coach.
Obviously, that's obvious.
Uh,
You have to talk to
he
football about him.
No, because not just that, like, honestly speaking, not because he's see, I'm there because of him,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
he wanted me to come down and help him as much as, so I'm trying as much as I can to help him as well, because this is his baby project, and I'm literally there putting everything that I can to help him in the best possible way. So we're always there together,
Right.
talking about, planning about things. And the one person, he's upcoming young coach, and I won't be surprised in the next whatever 5-10 years, he will definitely, he's well equipped when it comes to
Right.
information, knowledge, and he's getting the experience. He's getting to do a lot of things on the pitch as well now, with having
Right.
a team. He's one course we should look, and I mean, he's doing very well. So
Right.
we he so much of information he has when it comes to football, not just Indian football, but generally the world football. A lot of details, and it's fun to sit down with him, and it's always yeah, so much. Yeah, we never ending talks that we always had.
That's great. That's great. So the last of the rapid fire questions. Which
Yeah.
is your favorite goal? The goal of all the goals that you scored, which is the one that you remember most for the national team?
For the national team,
Yeah.
last oh,
Which is your favorite goal for the national team?
I mean, man, like just to decide one is so difficult. I mean, I know this is a rapid fire and I'm
You have to pick
dragging.
one. You have to pick one. You have to pick one.
I mean, all are important, but I would say the Asian Cup 2000 against Bahrain, because
Okay.
it was not because it was a big stage, but yeah, a lot of expectation, and too many people are kind of curious to know what are we going to do, and yeah, just go out there and in front of your home. I mean, like there was a lot of Indian that they came to watch,
Right.
because
Right.
even though eventually we lost the game, but yeah, I mean, it was a big stage, and that's what you look for. I mean, that's what you dream for any players, because I always wanted to be in all the what do you call it? Like we talk about Nehru Cup, like talk about a final of say Fed Cup or a final of it's fun to play in the finals. So I think I'm fortunate to be part of a lot of finals in my line of playing career, and those are
Right.
the moments that you waited. And when you were there and you got the chance to score other than defending, and you're like, wow, then when you look back, I don't see all the time, but sometimes someone just share you or something. Oh, this is goal you scored. Okay, yeah, that was fun. It was nice. Yeah.
So I want to end this show by asking you what is the one thing what's the one piece of advice that you would give a youngster who is 15, 16 years old, who wants to make a career in football, or who wants to play for the Indian national team?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think one most important thing is that I think we talk about the goal. You need to be very clear in your head that where do you want to go. I think once you have, yes, if you want to be in the Indian team at some point or in some stage in your career, you have to start somewhere, right? You can't just jump from your like home to the national team. It won't work like that. So the journey
Right.
is going to be journey might be tough, journey might be not very fancy, journey might be very difficult, but are you ready for that? So once you have the clear that I want to be there, uh, so you have to start somewhere, either school, either your locality, either your state level or school level, college, wherever you want to, or any academy. You have to start somewhere. Then I think it's all about every day not wasting time. Every day you need to make sure that asking question to yourself that how far I have come. For that, to do that,
Right.
to make sure that happen, you need to have the discipline for that. So I think
Right.
discipline is the key, number one, for you to do that. And then when I said the discipline, there's a lot of things. You need to be honest to yourself. You need to be sincere in whatever you do. I
Absolutely.
think that
Yeah.
will only help you, because you can't be if you're not honest to yourself, it's not going to work. So you need to be very honest to yourself and sincere, and that discipline. I think the discipline comes. The origin comes of discipline. So you need to have that. So then I think the other important thing is like it's about hard work. So everyone does the hard work.
Right.
Like we
Right.
all, I think you ask anyone, if people, we all hard work in every walks of life. The question is like,
Right.
uh, smart hard work, but with some brain.
Smart work. Yeah.
Smart hard work. I would say a smart hard
Yeah.
work. So
Right.
yeah, like I said again, if you're heading a direction, but once you have the direction, you know that, but you're just walking hard without much thinking, and you're already heading to different direction, then you're never going to reach your destination, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think that little smart hard work, I think it's very important. That you need to. Then there's no way. There's no negotiable there. Physically, mentally, you have to put through a lot of things every day. Because whatever. Like I said again, if the coach asks you to say 10 push-up, then do the 10 push-up. You don't have to do 11. You don't need to do 9. Just do the 10.
So
There's a
being
reason.
honest is important.
Yeah, so don't do 9, don't do 11. Just do. You don't have to do more rows. You don't have to do less. Just whatever the coach asks you. I'm pretty sure you have some question. Go up to the coach, whether it can be fitness coach or your football coach, because they have a reason. Why are they asking you to do something? Then probably they have some reason. If you're not convinced the reason, then you can of course have some discussion with the coach. But
Right.
yeah, do what you are asked to do. So that's where I think the hard work. There's a lot of hard work, but smart hard work. But you need to put through that or go through that. And
Right.
I think the last thing is that persistence. I think it's a very common word, but I think they need to understand that, like, because question is, can you make it? Never give up. It might take time for you to get there. So the question is, once, like a lot of people say, I don't know, but even I'm talking about purely from the football as a player perspective as well. You work hard, you have some direction, then somehow, somewhere you find way to get there.
Right.
Then the biggest, then you work hard, you never give up, and you make it finally to your goal. That's a national team. You make it there. The question is, can you stay there for longer, the longest you
Right.
want?
Right.
So that is where the biggest challenges comes. Like, so So I think those all the persistence again, so keep getting better every day, because someone's going to push you from behind, because they want you to get off from there and they want to get into or take your place. So it's all about a very healthy competition. So it's all about, when I was playing, I would say then I always wanted my name to be the first when, say, tomorrow that Pro will announce, say, okay, in defender, okay, Gouramangi. So that is what, and I want that name to be there long as I can. For that, you have to, that's why I said, for that, you have to play the entire season, in the best possible game, or the performance you have to put, through the season, playing able for those selections. That's when only you will get noticed by the national team coach or whatever. So sorry, it took a little long, but I think it was important for all. So don't just come up with this blind or crazy thoughts that I want to play, but yes, you have to think about it, really, so for the youngsters today, if they want to get into football take up the game as a career, then think about it.
So there we have it for all you boys and girls who are looking to play football at the highest level. Gouramangi Singh, the coach of Bengaluru United and the ex-captain of the Indian team, has spoken. 3 things: discipline, smart hard work, and persistence. These are the 3 things that you need. Coach, thank you so much for being part of this today. I'm sure you would have inspired so many people to take up football. It's been very interesting for me as well personally. I've been like a fanboy talking to you, especially after watching you play once or twice as well. It's been a great experience. Thank you so much, Coach. We look forward to having you on the show once again.
Yeah, thank you, obviously. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Okay, guys. Okay, stay safe. Take care.